What drives individuals to join these Pinoy gangs? How have these gangs evolved over the years, and what impact have they had on Philippine society? What are the most notorious crimes and incidents associated with these gangs? Which Pinoy gang do you think is the most notorious? From their origins to their rise and fall, we'll take you on a roller coaster ride through the gritty, complex, and often misunderstood world of Pinoy gang life. These stories are not just about crime and violence. They're about the human experiences, the struggles, and the resilience of individuals who found themselves in a world most of us can only imagine. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and join us on this epic adventure into the top 10 most dangerous Pinoy gang group. Which gang is known for using sledgehammers or similar tools to break into establishments and steal valuable items? At top 10 is Maro Gang. The Maro Gang, also known as the Hammer Gang, is a notorious criminal group that has operated in the Philippines for several decades. Their name, Martillo, is derived from the Filipino word for hammer, highlighting the gang's signature modus operandi. The gang's criminal activities have primarily targeted jewelry stores, pawn shops, and other businesses with valuable merchandise. They are known for their precision and speed in executing heists, often striking during daytime hours when these establishments are open for business. Their modus operandi typically involves smashing glass display cases with sledgehammers to quickly grab jewelry, watches, and other valuable items before making a quick getaway. One of the most high-profile incidents involving the Maro Gang occurred in 2015 when they carried out a brazen robbery at a shopping mall in Manila. This incident garnered significant media attention and raised concerns about the gang's audacity and ability to evade law enforcement. Law enforcement agencies in the Philippines have been actively pursuing the Maro Gang and have made several arrests over the years. In 2015, a jewelry outlet inside a shopping mall in Pagadian City, Zamboanga del Sur, was robbed of 5.6 million peso worth of jewelries by members of Maro Gang. Also, in 2019, at least 8 million peso worth of jewelry was stolen by suspected members of this gang from a jewelry shop in Bainan, Laguna. Now, which gang swindles victims without them realizing they are losing their valuables? At top 9 is the Cissi Gang. This gang is infamous for its modus operandi of theft and swindling, often targeting unsuspecting victims, especially in crowded places, markets, and commercial establishments. The term Cissi is derived from the Filipino word salisi, which means to switch or swap. This term aptly describes the gang's primary method of operation, where they distract their victims' attention and swap or steal their belongings, often through sleight of hand and quick maneuvers. These distractions can take various forms, such as a staged argument, a well-timed bump, or an appeal for assistance. The Cissi Gang typically consists of a group of individuals who work together in a coordinated manner. They may appear as ordinary citizens, blending into the crowd to avoid suspicion. Some members might play specific roles, like the distraction artist who engages the victim, while others execute the actual theft. Common items targeted by the Cissi Gang include jewelry, wallets, mobile phones, and other valuables. Victims often realize they've been swindled only after the gang has disappeared into the crowd. By the time the victim discovers the loss, it can be challenging to identify the perpetrators as they quickly disperse and change their appearance. Which gang has modus often happening in abuses and attacks passengers? At top 8 is Zesto Gang. Reputable for engaging in a variety of illegal activities, including as drug trafficking, extortion, and organized violence, is the Zesto Gang. This gang is well known for its brutal methods, which frequently include the use of guns and other lethal equipment. This modus happens on buses and attacks passengers. When a new passenger arrives, a Zesto Gang member will disguise and act like she is the bus conductor. Then he'll nonchalantly ask Ilan, "How many?" The victim will think he was asking, "How many people would you pay fares of?" not knowing he was really referring to the juice packs. When the scammer finally has the payment, he'll give the victim juice packs and swiftly poke straws on it, so the victim won't have any chance to protest. But it's not just that. Juice packs of these scammers also cost a gold. The criminal network of the Zesto Gang is extremely well organized. with distinct roles and hierarchies, and it extends across multiple locations. They work by instilling fear and intimidation in vulnerable groups and companies in order to extract protection money and engage in extortion. At top 7, which gang is famous for breaking into residential homes and stealing valuable items and belongings? It's the AAP Bahay Gang. The term Akyat Bahay is a Filipino phrase that literally translates to house climbers or house burglars, and it aptly describes the criminal activities of this gang. The Akyat Bahay Gang typically operates under the cover of darkness, targeting homes in both urban and rural areas. They often strike when homeowners are away, such as during vacations or work hours, to minimize the risk of confrontation. The gang members are known for their agility and ability to scale walls and fences to gain entry into properties, which is how they earn their name. Their modus operandi includes carefully selecting their targets, conducting surveillance, and planning their break-ins meticulously. They are known to be skilled lockpickers, and they use their expertise to gain access to homes without triggering alarms or leaving any obvious signs of forced entry. Once inside a targeted residence, the Akyat Bahay Gang ransacks the premises, searching for valuables like jewelry, electronics, cash, and other easily transportable items. They are also known to steal important documents, such as passports and identification cards, which can be used for various illegal purposes. To counter the Akyat Bahay Gang, authorities in the Philippines have implemented various measures, such as increasing police patrols in vulnerable neighborhoods, improving home security systems, and raising awareness among residents about the importance of reporting suspicious activities. Which notorious gang often targets elderly or the vulnerable population? At top 6 is the Budol Gang. The term budol is a Filipino colloquialism that roughly translates to deceptive or trickery, which aptly describes the modus operandi of this criminal gang. The Budol Gang typically targets vulnerable individuals, often the elderly, who may be more susceptible to manipulation and persuasion. They employ various techniques to gain the trust of their victims and then exploit their trust to steal money and valuables. Gang members often pose as police officers, government officials, or religious figures to gain the victim's trust. They may claim to be investigating a crime or offering assistance with official matters, creating a sense of urgency. In some cases, gang members may pretend to have mystical or supernatural powers. They may convince victims that they are cursed or have been targeted by evil spirits, and that they need to participate in a ritual or ceremony to remove the curse. Members are skilled at manipulating the emotions of their victims. They may feign sympathy, compassion, or even romantic interest to establish a strong emotional connection. Once the gang successfully gains the victim's trust and manipulates them, they proceed to steal money, jewelry, and other valuable items. Victims are often left bewildered and unaware of the theft until it's too late. Which group are often formed of members from Leyte Samar? At top 5 is Waray gangs. Waray gangs are also known as Waray groups. These are generic terms used in the Philippines to denote criminal groups who are of Waray ethnicity. They originated from provinces Leyte and Samar, where the majority are of Waray background, later spreading into Luzon. Most of their criminal activities involved armed robberies, but various other gangs have also dabbled in kidnapping, carnapping, gun running, assassinations, gang warfare, and narcotics sale. Their bloody confrontations with the police made them the most notorious gang in the Philippines. Much of the beginnings of these gangs can be traced back to the 90s, where the economy of the Philippines was in an all-time low. The crippling poverty of the time, especially to those of faraway provinces where the Warays lived, caused many to form or join a gang. Holdups were the primary activity, where they would rob cars and trucks in rural roads, as well as banks and stores in urban areas. During the start of the new millennium, many of these Way gangs emigrated to larger and richer provinces in the north, including Manila. Multiple shootouts between gangs and the police were recorded, such as the Maykawayan massacre in 2002, the Parañaque shootout in 2008, and the recent murder of former SPO 3 Francisco homers JR in 2020. They also became known for their crimes against foreigners, like the robbery of Malaysian national William Yeo in 2009, the murder of American tourist Robert Edward Armstrong in 2012, and the holdup of 2 Indian nationals in 2017. Various local and international agencies have hunted them down, from the Philippine National Police, Armed Force of the Philippines, to even the Federal Bureau of Investigation. In 2014, the Philippine government outlawed the use of ethnicity in naming gangs, but Waray criminal gangs continue to exist till the present. Which gang is considered one of the largest groups in the country and can be found in the slums of Tondo, Manila. At top 4 is Sig Sig Sputnik Gang. Sig Sig Sputnik is a Filipino street gang. They are one of the largest and most well-known gangs whose influence and territory stretch throughout the slums of Tondo, Manila. They are also one of the gangs present in major penitentiaries in Manila, including Manila City Jail and New Bilibid Prison. The gang was born in the 1960s as part of 2 branching groups of Sig Sig hoodlums in Tondo, the other one being Sig Sig Commandos, who are Sputnik's most ardent rival. During the decade, they made turfs of many slums and jails in Manila. According to research, they are described as perhaps the most structured and best organized conflict gang in the Manila City Jail at the time. The motto of the gang is "He who comes to destroy us will himself be destroyed," which is a direct reference to the Visayan gangs like the Oxo Group, who the Sputniks felt had invaded the Tagalog territory of Manila. All full members of the Sputnik gang must undergo an initiation where they must wear a tattoo or brand, considered to be a badge of honor. There was a pride among the Sputniks regarding the tatak that borders on blood brother ties. The tatak is usually tattooed on the buttocks of each member, and the ones examined by the investigator were found to be works of art. Which gang is believed to be the oldest Filipino-American street gang in Los Angeles, California? At top 3 is Satanas Gang. When Satanas first formed in the 1970s, it was a Temple Street clique. Their relationship remained cordial even after this amicable separation. Some other Filipino gangs, such as the Demonios and Diablos, not the Mexican gang of the same name, claim their roots to Satanas, having originated among second-generation STS members and younger siblings of individuals who were members of DICE, and the founders of many other Filipino-American gangs were originally members of Satanas. In December 1982, 8 members of the Satanas gang were found guilty in a trial for the killing of Francisco Gamez and Luis Silva, who were not gang members but were mistaken as ones. Gamez and Silva chased 2 cars, each carrying 4 members of Satanas. Gunshots had been fired from the 2 cars just behind the Gamez home. At the end of the chase, Gamez was shot in the head and Silva was shot in the back, shoulder and head as he tried to escape. In November 1989, Manuel Rodriguez, a member of the Lemonwood Cheeks gang, was shot and killed by Arnel Salagubang, a member of the Satanas gang. Salagubang and Manuel Rodriguez had been arguing in front of Channel Islands High School. Salagubang pulled out a small caliber handgun and shot Rodriguez in the head. Salagubang fled the scene, but a witness was able to get his license plate number. The witness turned the information over to the police, who arrested Salagubang the next day. At the runner-up on our list, which group was originally formed by a group of former New People's Army PI. At top 2 is Kuratang Balaleng. The Kuratang Balaleng gang is a notorious criminal organization that operated in the Philippines for several decades. The gang was involved in various criminal activities, including robbery, extortion, kidnapping, and drug trafficking. Its activities were particularly prominent during the 1980s and 1990s, and it gained notoriety for its brazen and violent crimes. The name Kuratang Balaleng is believed to have been inspired by a local folklore character and a type of mythical creature in Filipino folklore. The gang operated primarily in the Mindanao region of the Philippines, although they were known to have carried out criminal activities in other parts of the country as well. One of the gang's most infamous activities was their involvement in numerous bank heists and armored van robberies. They were known for their well-coordinated and highly organized operations, which often involved using stolen police or military uniforms and equipment to deceive authorities. The gang's members were heavily armed and were not hesitant to use violence to achieve their goals, leading to numerous casualties in their criminal activities. The Kuratang Balang gang also had a reputation for being involved in political and criminal protection rackets. They were rumored to have close ties to corrupt politicians and law enforcement officials who shielded them from prosecution in exchange for a share of their ill-gotten gains. Finally, which gang is founded in the Philippines but is spread to the United States? At the top spot is the Bahay Nag Gang. The name Bahala translates to come what may or whatever will be in Filipino, reflecting the group's reckless and audacious approach to their criminal activities. This attitude is emblematic of the larger issues facing many disadvantaged communities in the Philippines, where poverty, limited access to education and job opportunities, and a lack of social support systems can drive young people into a life of crime. The Bahay Nag Gang is a street gang founded in the Philippines which subsequently spread to the United States. The Bahay Nag Gang was established in the early 1940s in Sampaloc, Manila, Philippines, by Divino Talastas, a native of Bulacan who was born in the early 1920s and who later moved with his siblings to Sampaloc. One of the distinguishing characteristics of the Bahay Nag Gang is its use of secret codes and symbols to communicate and identify its members. The gang is known for its ruthless tactics and propensity for violence. It has been involved in numerous clashes with rival criminal organizations, resulting in casualties on both sides. The group's willingness to resort to extreme violence has made it a formidable force in the criminal underworld. Efforts to dismantle the Bahay Nag Gang have been ongoing for years, with various law enforcement agencies in the Philippines working to apprehend its leaders and disrupt its operations. And there you have it, folks, our top 10 Pinoy gang group. These groups have left an indelible mark on Philippine society, whether through their history, influence, or cultural impact. Which Pinoy gang surprised you the most on our list? Do you have any personal stories or insights to share about these gangs? Let's hear it from you by writing your comments below. We want to remind everyone that the Philippines has a rich and diverse culture with so much more to offer beyond the world of gangs. Let's focus on celebrating the positive aspects of Filipino life and working together to build a brighter future. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and keep exploring the many facets of Pinoy culture.